Ooh, nice and warm, huh? Oh my gosh. Come on, guys, let's go. Cool.
No, we're not in line. If you don't like this part. Watch out. You got real life gold on display. Feel it. Actually does feel pretty cool. Doesn't say that you.
I'll catch back up.
Begin your visit at the Visitor Center and Museum and see the 15-minute video of the history of the fort. Take a self-guided tour of the 5 buildings that are restored and refurnished to the 1880s or explore the other 100 ruins and foundations. Interpreters dressed in period clothing are stationed at some of these buildings during the summer months and spring break. Follow the daily routine of a soldier as you listen to the bugle calls or journey back into the time as the sound presentation of an era 1875 dress retreat parade plays throughout the fort at scheduled times.
Yeah, so Morse code, these dashes and dots are spaces.
I'm not even videoing.
So how would you do a dash?
I don't know. Here, who wants to try a hat on? Let me see that. That's an interesting hat you chose.
It's hair.
Let me see, Madeline. Okay.
What's just happening?
This is a hat. You can choose hats to wear. Watch out, Grayson. Very nice.
And there's different ones too. Mom.
Look at me. Look at me, Grayson. Cute.
I haven't tried them.
All right, last one. We're gonna head out to the buildings. Look at me. Cute.
Fort Davis, a frontier post. A key post in the defense system of western Texas, Fort Davis played a major role in the history of the Southwest.
Probably a lot of fossilized poop in there somewhere.
Careful, don't step on the deer thing.
From 1854 until 1891, troops stationed at the post protected immigrants, freighters, mail coaches, and travelers on the San Antonio-El Paso Road, hoping to reach the gold fields of California. Today, Fort Davis is considered one of the best remaining examples of a frontier military post in the American Southwest. It is a vivid reminder of the significant role played by the military in the settlement and development of the western frontier. Named for Secretary of War Jefferson Davis, the fort was first garrisoned by Lieutenant Colonel Washington Sewall and 6 companies of the 8th U.S. Infantry.
Huh?
What's the commissionary?
It's like a store.
For breakfast, we had beef hash, dry
Oh.
sliced bread and coffee. For dinner, sliced beef, dry bread and coffee. For supper, coffee straight, just dry bread and coffee. The food was very poor.
A sergeant stationed at Fort Davis.
Here, pick one of those you want to listen to. Officer's wife. I already picked that one. Pick a different one.
Dang, sugar
Nearly
was
as much food is
expensive.
wasted as is issued in the Army from the ignorance and inexperience of company cooks.
Major Thomas M. Anderson, 10th Infantry, 1878.
Pick another one.
Assorted crackers, 214 pounds, 63 of which were found good.
Sir, I have the honor to inform you that Sergeant Henry Robinson and Private Perry Harris, Company C, 10th U.S. Cavalry, have drawn tobacco for the month of September 1880, for which you will please have charged against each of them 43 cents each.
Several enlisted men having succumbed to scurvy, I ordered that a garden be planted. So
The post was located in a box canyon near Olympia Creek on the eastern side of the Davis Mountains, where wood, water, and grass were plentiful. From 1854 to 1861, troops of the 8th Infantry spent much of their time in the field pursuing Comanches, Kiowas, and Apaches. With the outbreak of the Civil War and Texas secession from the Union, the federal government evacuated Fort Davis. The fort was occupied by Confederate troops from the spring of 1861 until the summer of 1862, when Union forces again took possession. They quickly abandoned the post, and Fort Davis lay deserted for the next 5 years. The original post consisted of primitive structures. It was located west of the present-day Officers' Row. The foundations of several buildings from this earlier fort can still be seen today. Not many of the fort's structures remained in June 1867, when Lieutenant Colonel Wesley Merritt and 4 companies of the recently organized 9th U.S. Cavalry reoccupied Fort Davis. The building of a new post just east of the original site began immediately. By the end of 1869, a number of officers' quarters, 2 enlisted men's barracks, a guardhouse, temporary hospital, and storehouses had been erected. Construction continued through the 1880s. By then, Fort Davis had become a major installation with more than 100 structures and quarters for more than 400 soldiers. Fort Davis's primary role of safeguarding the West Texas frontier against the Comanches and Apaches continued until 1881. Although the Comanches were defeated in the mid-1870s, the Comanches continued to make travel on the San Antonio-El Paso Road dangerous. Soldiers from the post regularly patrolled the road and provided protection for wagon trains and mail coaches.
Oh, it looks like that one's the one that's furnished. What'd you say?
The latrines. I actually thought that was gonna be a garden. This is the hospital up here, sweetie. This looks just like Fort Richardson's hospital.
The exterior of the post hospital at Fort Davis was restored in the late 1960s. Restoration consisted of repairing the adobe walls and putting a new roof and porches on the structure. In the 1980s, a wood walkway was constructed in the administrative section to allow visitors access. In the 1990s, some interior plaster stabilization work was accomplished. Because the history of this structure and its staff affected all aspects of life at the post. It is a plan of the National Park Service, in partnership with the Friends of Fort Davis National Historic Site, to restore and furnish the North Ward and one or two of the administrative rooms. The restoration will enhance the visitor's experience as well as increase the park's ability to interpret the history of the entire garrison. Medical treatment at Fort Davis represented state-of-the-art medicine of the 19th century. The soldiers at Fort Davis and other frontier posts probably received medical treatment as good or better than what the average American received at the time. Lacking knowledge of what caused disease or infection, Army doctors concentrated their efforts on treating symptoms and ensuring proper hygiene and sanitation at the post. The restoration of the post hospital will provide visitors with an understanding and appreciation of a segment of garrison life often overlooked. More importantly, it will serve to better tell the story of those who lived and sometimes died at Fort Davis during the last quarter of the 19th century.
Well, that was dangerous.
Yeah.
We can't touch that. Only parents or bad guys.
Bad guys. There's outside is another thing that I'm gonna read. Might show it. It's the room that we saw earlier.
Why do we need to hurry?
Because when you go to the Star Museum.
Oh, this is just talking about those people again. Was it a storm zone?
No, it's probably for so things wouldn't spoil.
a video for this. This is the post commander's
Oh,
house. Yeah. Living a life of luxury.
that's
here.
nice. Holy cow.
The last major military campaign involving troops from Fort Davis occurred in 1880. In a series of engagements, units from Fort Davis and other posts under the command of Colonel Benjamin Garrison forced the Apaches and their leader Victorio into Mexico. There, Victorio and most of his followers were killed by Mexican soldiers. With the end of the Indian Wars in West Texas, garrison life at Fort Davis became more routine. Soldiers occasionally escorted railroad survey parties, repaired roads and telegraph lines, and pursued bandits. In June 1891, a result of the Army's efforts to consolidate its frontier garrisons, Fort Davis was ordered abandoned, having outlived its usefulness. 70 years later, in 1961, the fort was authorized a National Historic Site, a unit of the National Park Service.
Do what?
So much.
Well, we can always go camping at Fort Davis one day. And go to Balmaria Park.
Visiting Fort Davis National Historic Site was truly a lot of fun and definitely educational. We stayed at Hotel Olympia, just right down the road from here. That is a great hotel if you're interested in staying around here. Check out our other family adventures, and if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, because really, why not?